What do you make of the news that we're going to have at least 2 presidential debates, Mark?
You want to know what I think? The cynic in me is that the reason that Trump agreed, and he agreed so readily to CNN, is that this is three-dimensional chess, and he knows he's going to get, or it's most likely he's going to get convicted in most state courts, in New York included. If you get convicted of multiple felonies, most judges will remand you immediately into custody pending sentencing. He's forestalling. He's going to dare this judge. You put me in custody, I've got a presidential debate. You have definitely interfered with the election. And here you go. I want it in June. I think that's exactly what's happening.
That's so interesting. I hadn't even considered that. Wait, could that happen? So if they wrap both cases by Monday or Tuesday, they have closing arguments maybe on Thursday because they're off on Wednesdays. The jury gets the case and we have a verdict potentially within 2 weeks from now. You're telling me the judge, if he's convicted, could immediately sentence him to go to jail?
Ask Marcia if she can name 10 cases where somebody has been convicted of multiple felonies while being cited for contempt during the trial, and name a judge who has not remanded that person pending sentencing. It's almost virtually unheard of.
True.
Marcia?
Very, very true. With all that he's got going on, with all not just this case, but a judge looks at the entire picture of what this guy's got going on. And it's a lot of cases and there's a lot of jeopardy. He's also been cited for contempt a million times. He's shown that he has no regard for the law. And someone like that, if you don't remand them, you're incompetent. So I have to say, no, I've never seen a case where they haven't. However, this would be the one where it doesn't happen because it's Trump. And I think the judge will probably not remand him. He may take his passport and do those kind of interim things you can do to control someone, their movements, and prevent him from leaving town. Maybe even give him an ankle monitor. But I don't think that he's going to get remanded.
We could have a presidential debate with one of the presidential candidates wearing an ankle monitor. Wait,
let me give you one. Let me just add one little kind of twist to this. So you've got a presidential candidate who's being tried in the Supreme Court of New York, who I think the odds are his best day is a hung jury. I don't think there's any chance of an acquittal given the jury. And he potentially faces being remanded into custody. That is a real possibility. If he was anybody but Trump, he would be in custody. And you now have, as of yesterday, Hunter Biden scheduled not for one, but 2 criminal trials in June as well. So the son of the current president and the leading contender for president, both dealing with criminal jeopardy in the same single month.
I'm dead. I died. I'm done. I can't. Can you just explain, Marcia, I'll give this to you. Explain remand.
That means being taken into custody. So when they say remanded into custody, he is sent back to the custody of the jailer, whoever that is, county, state, whatever it is, federal. So,
right. Marcia, why don't you describe what happens in the courtroom when they read the guilty verdict? You'll see them take off the watch, take off the pen, take off the belt, put their hands behind their back, get cuffed, and walked in the back door.
Yeah.
In the courtroom?
In the courtroom.
In the courtroom, right into lockup. It happens every single time, absent some extenuating circumstance.
Yeah.
In state court. In state
court. That's right. I can't vouch for what happens in a federal trial, but this is a state trial. So, and I would imagine New York follows what we do, Mark. I mean, it's the same procedure.
They absolutely do. Federal court is more civilized. Generally, if you've been out on bail or on release, they will put the case over for sentencing. They'll order the PSR, the pre-sentence report, and you'll be allowed to stay out of custody pending sentencing. State court, completely different. You are remanded.
What about a court like this, where a case like this, where most legal experts I've read do not predict Trump will be sentenced to jail? But even under those, as somebody without a record, even under those circumstances, would the likelihood be if his name weren't Trump, he'd be remanded?
I don't
I
know
think
what legal experts you're talking to, but this judge has already threatened to put him in jail for saying the unbelievable statement that this jury is 95% Democrat and it's a Democrat coming to get me. That is what he has been found in contempt of. So, and when you're threatening jail over that, you get convicted of 34 felonies, he's going to go to jail.
Oh my God.
Usually,
Go ahead,
usually
Marcia.
that's absolutely true. By the way, he's also been cited for contempt for calling the judge corrupt, the clerk corrupt, insulting their families. I mean, he's made outrageously disgusting remarks, and any other defendant would have already been sitting in jail for contempt. So, look at how unusual, we call it in the law, sui generis, this is. It's Trump, and therefore none of the rules apply. So, I mean, the fact that he isn't sitting in jail right now is amazing. So I don't predict that he's going to get remanded. It's possible he won't get jail time. Although given all of his behavior and everything that they've seen, if the jury does convict, and I think it probably will, it would be really ridiculous not to give him some jail time. We have to think about what kind of precedent you're setting, because this is, people have talked a lot about the nature of these charges and how unusual they are and how they're trumped up misdemeanors into a felony, et cetera. But it really was an effort to affect the election. There's no question that was the motive. He didn't care otherwise. And I do think the evidence has shown that. So whether you think he deserves jail time or not, it is a felony. And you have to think about what other defendant would get away with no jail time, given all that he's done and given what he's convicted of. It's remarkable, but I don't think he will. I mean, honestly, if I had to put my money on either side, I would guess he will not get jail time.
Let me tell you a story about a guy named Leo Grillo. Leo was on a road trip and came across a Doberman. This dog was severely underweight and clearly in trouble. Leo rescued the dog and named him Delta. Well, sadly, Delta was just one of many animals that needed help, and this inspired Leo to start Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They've rescued thousands of dogs, cats, and horses from the wilderness, and they provide their animals with shelter, love, safety, a home. April marked 45 years since Leo rescued Delta. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions, and if you want caring for these animals to be part of your legacy, go ahead and speak with your estate planner, because there are tax benefits too. You can grow your estate while letting your love for animals live well into the future. Check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more and speak with your advisor. We call dog a man's best friend for a reason. You can help those who need it most. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.